again.
Well, it seems like all anyone's interested in right now is everything going on at Twitter, and I actually understand why. I mean, we have a situation where you have one of the biggest pillars in communication that's been under the thumb very clearly of one political party, serving one political party, suddenly being liberated, seemingly. I will admit, I don't think a lot has changed. I don't really think the shadow banning has been extensively lifted. I'm not sure, if the trending tab has been changed. Although people say in Japan, suddenly it was all video games and anime instead of politics. There's so much to change at YouTube. And obviously the Twitter Blue rollout has been punted now for, I think, 2 weeks. They're going to figure out how to re-roll it out. I assume they'll take away the check mark that's involved in it, but find some other loophole to let people into the verified tab, things of that nature. But I wanted to kind of highlight just how Elon's kind of done with this stuff, this entitled brats, and also how his push for culture change is already attracting top minds, which is exactly what he wanted to do. People literally just a few minutes ago, somebody posted this letter that everyone said was oh, it was so evil, blah, blah, blah. Dude's like, hey, I'll come work for you for some big, I'll show you. But first I want to show where Elon's head is at. He's so done with these entitled brats that a lot of his tweets have just been here's libs of TikTok writing how it started, how it's going, showing Sachi McCall, the Twitter employee yesterday who was fired for saying, kiss my rear, Elon, to which Elon replied, a tragic case of adult onset Tourette's. It's exactly what I was talking about. These people talk like cartoons. And you see, this is how you know it's good. He's pissing off all the right people. In fact, last night, I posted a screenshot of Taylor Lorenz getting mad by tweeting, Elon is now hanging out in the libs of TikTok replies, making ableist comments and bashing his former staffer. That is an Olympic level. The fact that he made a Tourette's joke, I don't think even people with Tourette's would be offended by that. It's not, it was the tamest of jokes ever, but she has to do Olympic level reaching to find a way to be offended by it. Then you have stuff popular opinion, Elon Musk is the founder of PayPal and Zip2, has a pretty good understanding of internet, to which he replies, Starlink is rebuilding the internet in space. So maybe I know slightly more than some guy who wrote code for a website. I just absolutely he's just done. He went on a late night tirade. Even seeing here, actually Kyle Rittenhouse tweeting, the seething irrational hatred coming out of the misinformed haters is peak. Then you see this person, FBI panty raid. Kyle, did you notice your negative replies are almost exclusively from unverified handles? All blue checks are positive. Elon Musk, you should use this as your bot detector. And of course he replies, interesting. So in the same night, he is on Kyle Rittenhouse's thread, libs of TikTok. He's saying, just laughing at the unhinged meltdowns of former employees. And it's all on purpose. It's all on purpose. It just is. Punting relaunch of Blue Verified till November 29th to make sure that it's rock solid. And a lot of people, hey, look, I'm in the replies. I would absolutely love for Elon to notice me, senpai. I think I could provide some real good thoughts on monetization and how to attract YouTubers. Now, here's where things get interesting. Here's George Hotz, who apparently is the president of comma_AI and the founder of tinygrad.org. Quote tweeting Daniel Sullivan saying, here's a text to email that Elon Musk sent to Twitter staff overnight, which is essentially the fork in the road email, which I covered earlier today. Essentially saying, look, if you're not going hardcore, then, you're gone. Please resign. And by the way, if you haven't yet, please do click that red subscribe button down below, or green, or whatever color it is, wherever you're watching this video. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It makes finding my videos easier, and it lets YouTube know that people are interested in my channel. So he then follows it up and says, I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'm down for a 12-week internship at Twitter for the cost of living in San Francisco. It's not about accumulating capital in a dead world. It's about making the world alive. And then Elon Musk says, sure, let's talk. He says, cool, my phone number hasn't changed. I'm not the guy if you want long-term stability, but I really enjoy diving into complex code bases. And I think I could help document and clean up some of those 1,000 microservices in 12 weeks. Reverse engineering. That is kind of a baller thing to say. Like, he's still got his number. Like, Elon's got his number. But like that's it working, And then you get the other side of the coin where you have like Casey Newton, who works for what? Platformer and New York Times, garbage and garbage. Well, Platformer, I think, is just like a Substack thing. Twitter and engineer Eric Fraunhofer was fired for correcting Elon Musk. Well, I think it's a little more complicated than that. I talked to him about Twitter's culture, Musk's paranoia, and whether the service will crash and burn. Pretty sure it's not going to crash and burn. It's also been several weeks since he took over. And again, as I've mentioned before, I don't really notice any difference. You see Brian Barrick, he literally said it was unfortunate that he wasn't laid off just a week prior. He didn't want to be there, and that's what got him fired. If you were a new CEO and saw that tweet, you'd fire him too. How many CEOs do you see having internal conversations being published globally on a public platform? Well, I don't know, maybe. Like, I don't even understand, like, I don't care about this guy because he got what he wanted. Now he's getting this, a bunch of cowards. Fired Twitter engineer blast Elon Musk and company. A Twitter employee was fired by tweet after criticizing Elon Musk ripped the billionaire and his advisors as a bunch of cowards. Yes, I know. You are much smarter and more intelligent than Elon Musk, I am sure. Former Twitter software engineer Eric Fraunhofer received a pink slip Monday after he engaged in a war of words with Musk on the platform. The dispute began after Musk tweeted an apology for Twitter being super slow in many countries and attributed them to poor app function. Now, I get why he was like sensitive about that because, it's his baby. He's responsible for it. And then his boss is like, yo, you suck at your job. I 100% get it. I understand. But in the real world, you got to just not really, you just keep grin and bear it. Or you do what he did and you get fired. I think there are 3 reasons the app is slow. He talked about that. Musk did not respond to the thread, but later confirmed that he had fired Fraunhofer with a 2-word tweet. He's fired. The CEO has since deleted the post. By Monday night, Fraunhofer had posted a photo showing he'd been locked out of his laptop. Yeah, that's the thing. We regret to inform you your employment is terminated immediately. A message to fired employees reportedly said your recent behavior has violated company policy. Another of the fireworker software engineer, Yao Yu, had, quote, pushed back on Musk's tweets, blaming performance issues on Twitter's architecture, according to Newton. After 12 amazing years, 3 weeks of chaos, I'm officially fired by Twitter. The fired engineer wrote on Twitter, never expected I would have stayed this long, never expected I would be this relieved to be gone. I mean, that's a cope, right? That's a cope. 12 years at Twitter, you're probably making a fortune. You're probably making the kind of money that you're never, ever going to touch again. Because Silicon Valley is, maybe they could go work for themselves, I suppose. But there's a reckoning happening in Silicon Valley right now. There's no denying it. The layoffs are happening everywhere. Stripe, Patreon, Twitter, Facebook. The list goes on and on. and it's only going to get worse. You're going to see more layoffs before the end of the year, and then certainly more in Q1. Again, this is about Elon changing the culture. See, Elon attempts hardcore culture reset at Twitter. Will employees buy in? I believe they will. I believe the ones that he wants to will. The other ones will get a free paycheck for 3 months and time to go find another job. I'm not sure that now it's going to be a great time to be kicking the tires around in Silicon Valley, but if you're good and you have connections, you could probably bounce back. There's lots of companies that do similar things to Twitter, and maybe they could go work for Mastodon or somebody else. And they're not making the same money, but if they're good, they can find work. Or, of course, as the left always says, they could just make their own app. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's going to be interesting to watch how many people decide tomorrow that they no longer want to be employed by Elon. We'll talk to you again real soon.